The world knows Cristiano Ronaldo as one of the greatest footballers of all time. Millions have witnessed the trophies, the records, and the celebrations. But almost nobody knows about the frightened 15-year-old lying on a hospital bed, listening to doctors who believed his football career could end before it had truly begun. And if that wasn't enough, an even darker battle was waiting for him at home. Today, Ronaldo's name is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But there was a time when his family couldn't even afford a comfortable life. He wasn't born into luxury. He wasn't protected by fame. He grew up in a place where every single opportunity had to be earned. And what happened inside that small house would shape his mentality forever. Long before the packed stadiums and worldwide fame, Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on February 5, 1985, on the small Portuguese island of Madeira. It was beautiful on the outside. But for his family, life was anything but easy. Their home was small. Money was always tight. Every day felt like another challenge. Yet inside that difficult environment, one thing gave young Cristiano hope: a football. Little did anyone know, that simple ball would eventually change football history forever. But growing up poor wasn't the hardest part. The real pain came from watching someone he loved slowly destroy himself. And those painful memories would become one of the biggest reasons Ronaldo developed an obsession with discipline. His father, José Diniz Aveiro, worked hard to support the family. But behind closed doors, he struggled with alcohol addiction. For a young Cristiano, it was heartbreaking. He watched arguments. He watched pain. He watched instability. Many children would have accepted that life. Cristiano refused. Instead of letting those moments break him, he quietly made a promise to himself. One day, his family would never have to suffer like this again. That promise became fuel. Fuel stronger than talent. Stronger than luck, stronger than fear. Football quickly became more than just a game. It became his escape, his dream, his only way out. Every training session, every sprint, every goal felt like another step away from poverty. But just when everything finally seemed to be moving in the right direction, life delivered a devastating blow. At only 15 years old, doctors discovered something inside Ronaldo's heart, something that could end his football career forever. At just 15 years old, Cristiano Ronaldo had finally started moving closer to his dream. Scouts believed in him. His coaches saw incredible potential. Everything was falling into place. Then, without warning, doctors discovered a serious heart condition. In a single moment, every dream he had ever chased suddenly hung by a thread. Ronaldo had been experiencing an unusually fast heartbeat. At first, nobody imagined it could be something serious. But after medical tests, the truth became impossible to ignore. His heart was beating irregularly. For most teenagers, that diagnosis would mean rest. For a young footballer chasing the impossible, it sounded like the end. And the next decision would determine the rest of his life. Most people think greatness begins with trophies, but Ronaldo's greatest victory came long before anyone knew his name, because instead of giving up, he chose to fight. Even though nobody could guarantee he would ever play football again, doctors recommended immediate surgery. Everything happened incredibly fast. The procedure was successful. But success in the operating room didn't guarantee success on the football field. The biggest question still remained. Would his body allow him to become the player he dreamed of becoming? Only time could answer that. Most players would have taken months to rebuild their confidence. Cristiano Ronaldo did something that shocked everyone around him. He wasn't thinking about fear. He wasn't thinking about failure. He was only thinking about one thing: getting back onto the pitch. And when he finally returned, he looked hungrier than ever before. Back at Sporting Lisbon's academy, Ronaldo trained with unbelievable intensity. If everyone else practiced for 2 hours, he wanted 3. If someone scored 10 goals, he wanted 20. Talent gave him an opportunity, but obsession was turning him into something completely different. His teammates started noticing it. His coaches couldn't ignore it. Something extraordinary was beginning to happen. Then came another sacrifice, one that many teenagers would never have accepted. At just 12 years old, Ronaldo had already left Madeira to chase football in Lisbon. Now, the loneliness hit harder than ever. There were nights he missed his family so much that he cried. But quitting? That was never an option. Every difficult day became another lesson. Every lonely night became another reason to succeed. Instead of asking, "Why is life so hard?" Ronaldo kept asking, "What more can I do tomorrow?" That simple mindset separated him from almost everyone around him. And soon, Europe was about to discover his name. In the summer of 2003, one match changed everything. Sporting Lisbon faced Manchester United in a friendly. The stadium expected to watch the English giants dominate. Instead, an unknown teenager completely stole the show. By the final whistle, Manchester United's players were saying the same thing to Sir Alex Ferguson. "You have to sign this kid." And that single night changed football history forever. One summer night in 2003, Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't playing in a World Cup final. He wasn't lifting a trophy. He wasn't even famous. It was just a preseason friendly. But by the time the final whistle blew, the entire future of football had changed, and one legendary manager had already made his decision. Sporting Lisbon faced Manchester United in the opening match of their new stadium. For Ronaldo, it was another opportunity to prove himself. For Manchester United, it was supposed to be just another friendly. Instead, they found themselves chasing an 18-year-old winger who seemed impossible to stop. Every touch carried confidence. Every sprint left defenders behind. Every attack demanded attention. By the end of the match, even Manchester United's experienced defenders admitted they had never faced anyone quite like him. The scoreboard wasn't what people remembered. What everyone remembered was the teenager wearing green and white. Inside the Manchester United dressing room, players kept repeating the same message to Sir Alex Ferguson: "We need to sign this kid." And Ferguson listened. Just days later, Cristiano Ronaldo became a Manchester United player. For many young footballers, that would have been the biggest achievement of their lives. For Ronaldo, it was only the beginning. But joining one of the biggest clubs in the world also meant something else. The pressure became 10 times greater. And suddenly, millions of eyes were watching his every move. There was another challenge waiting for him. One that had nothing to do with goals, nothing to do with speed, and everything to do with expectations. Because Ronaldo was handed one of the most iconic shirt numbers in football history. Number 7, the number previously worn by Manchester United legends. Many people wondered, could this young boy possibly live up to it? At first, not everyone was convinced. Some critics believed he showed too many tricks. Others questioned his decision-making. They said he entertained too much and produced too little. Most young players would have lost confidence. Cristiano Ronaldo responded differently. He trained harder. He stayed longer after practice. He worked on his finishing, his crossing, his strength, his speed, his mentality, day after day. He quietly turned criticism into motivation. Then, something remarkable happened. The flashy teenager slowly disappeared. In his place, a complete football machine emerged. Goals became routine. Records started falling. Opponents stopped laughing and started worrying. The world was witnessing the birth of a completely different Ronaldo. After years of relentless improvement, everything finally came together. Cristiano Ronaldo helped Manchester United win major trophies. He became one of the most feared attackers in world football. Then came the moment every player dreams of. He won his first Ballon d'Or. For the little boy from Madeira, it wasn't just an individual award, it was proof that impossible dreams could become reality. But deep inside, Ronaldo believed he had only scratched the surface, just when football fans thought they had seen Ronaldo at his best. A new challenge arrived. The biggest club in the world came calling. A transfer worth a world record fee. New teammates, new rivals, unimaginable pressure. Many believed he could never repeat his success outside England. What happened next didn't just silence the critics, it changed football history forever. When Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Real Madrid in 2009, the expectations weren't just high, they were impossible. He became the most expensive footballer in history. Every match, every goal, every mistake was watched by millions. Many believed the pressure would eventually break him. Instead, it created the greatest version of Cristiano Ronaldo the world had ever seen. From his very first season, Ronaldo played with one mission, not just to win, but to dominate. Season after season, goals became routine, hat tricks became normal, records disappeared almost as quickly as they were created. The Champions League, the biggest stage in club football, became his favorite place to perform. And every time people thought he had reached his limit, he somehow found another level. But greatness is never built without rivalry. And standing on the opposite side was another football genius. Lionel Messi. For over a decade, football wasn't just a sport anymore. It became the stage for one of the greatest rivalries in history. Every weekend, fans around the world asked the same question: who is truly the greatest? And that debate transformed football forever. While the world argued, Cristiano Ronaldo kept working. His teammates often spoke about his relentless dedication, extra training, strict recovery, disciplined nutrition, an obsession with improving every detail. For Ronaldo, talent was never enough. He believed that hard work had to outperform natural ability every single day. That mindset became his greatest weapon. Then came the moment that meant more than any club trophy. Representing Portugal, a country with fewer resources than many football giants, a nation still waiting for its greatest football celebration. Could Ronaldo finally deliver what generations had dreamed of? In 2016, Portugal reached the UEFA European Championship final. Early in the match, Ronaldo suffered an injury and had to leave the pitch. For many players, that would have been the end of the story. Instead, he refused to disappear. From the sidelines, he encouraged his teammates until the final whistle. Portugal held on, and for the first time in history, they became European champions. It wasn't just a trophy. It was a dream fulfilled for an entire nation. But even legends discover that some dreams remain out of reach. For Cristiano Ronaldo, one goal continued to slip away: the FIFA World Cup. No matter how many records he broke, no matter how many goals he scored, the one trophy every footballer dreams of remained painfully elusive. And perhaps that is exactly what makes his story feel so human. Today, Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy is measured by far more than statistics. Yes, he scored extraordinary goals. Yes, he won countless trophies. Yes, he inspired millions. But his greatest achievement may be proving that discipline can overcome doubt, that resilience can outlast failure, and that a boy from a small island with limited resources but limitless determination can leave an unforgettable mark on the world. Whether you believe Cristiano Ronaldo is the greatest footballer of all time, or simply one of the greatest, one thing is impossible to deny: his journey changed football forever. And long after the final whistle of his career, His story will continue to inspire generations who dare to dream beyond their circumstances. Because legends are remembered for what they achieve, but icons are remembered for what they inspire. Cristiano Ronaldo became both.